Welcome back to another JP25 Entertainment Podcast, and today's topics are flirting and first dates. We have two great guests here today, Stephanie Olimon, Karley Angotta, and let's get right into it. We're going to start with flirting, okay? What are the do's and don'ts of flirting from a girl's perspective? Because from a guy's perspective, I don't like girls that are too touchy from the get-go. I want girls that are going to ease into it. I'm guessing for a girl, you probably want a guy to do the same thing, Karley?
Definitely. You don't want him to be too touchy. It could come off the wrong way at first. You know, get to know him, ask him a couple questions, feel it out first, but definitely don't get touchy. No.
I mean, I feel any respectable, sober man would know that's not like a go-to. But I've definitely seen it plenty of times where the guy comes up, tries to touch the lower back, you know, like gets a little too handsy. And I don't know why, honestly, I don't know why that's like a go-to. I've yet to figure it out why guys think that's okay. I mean, we have plenty of female friends that tell us that's not okay, so that kind of I ingrained it in myself to like know like that you don't roll that way. But I mean, there's so many ways out there. I think that there's different guys and different methods, but it's just the way of, I'm curious to see like what's your ideal style of flirting. Like what do you want to hear from a guy you just met or just approached you? Like what is like what's gonna work on you, I guess?
I'd say like they just want to get to know who I am. Like they're just interested in getting to know me as a person before we see if we should go out on a date or take it any further or switch numbers. You know, you have to have a connection there and then see where it goes.
Absolutely.
But regarding like the guys touching like lower part of the back of a woman, like to hit on them, I feel like that's just hit or miss with guys. Like for some people, maybe that does work on a girl, and like 1 out of 10 times that works, and that's why they keep doing it. You know, maybe a girl's drunk, feeling a little frisky, she likes it, and you're like, she didn't move my hand.
Yeah, what about like for pickup lines though? What if a guy came up to you and you wanted to be flirty? What's the best first line a guy can have?
What do you want to hear?
Yeah, what do you want to hear?
Honestly, humor goes a long way. Like it's not about saying something specific, it's just like making sure the conversation flows, throwing some comedy in there, you know, make light of the situation pretty much. There's not something specific I need to hear, but obviously all women love to hear they're beautiful, so that doesn't hurt. that doesn't hurt, you know, a little compliment here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, beautiful teeth. You know? You know, goes a long way.
Yeah, what about you, Stephanie? Do you agree? Do you think humor is the best way to go about it?
I definitely think that humor has a huge impact on talking to a girl. That makes it very open for someone to come and flirt with you or whatever. But touchiness, definitely no. First time, I hate it. I think a huge do for me is chivalry too. Like when a guy opens the door for you, I like all that. Like they want to buy me something, yeah, okay. Like a
couple drinks, a couple
or
shots,
maybe,
whatever.
you know, I'll take it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think for me that's definitely.
So humor is definitely what opens the door into the possibility to see what's there.
A guy could be mediocre looking, but if they make me laugh and he's funny, I'm in there.
Right.
Major bonus points.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you got a shot.
So what's the good like medium between humor and seriousness? Because if you don't want to be like too funny, because then you look like a goofball, but you also don't want to be too serious, because then it looks like you're there for like who knows what. You know, you want to have a good mixture of balance of, you know, like funny and serious. Like what do you think?
Yeah, I think the first time be as goofy as possible. I think there's maybe if you're being a little too much, I wouldn't know what exactly would be too much. I think if you're a little too drunk, maybe it just gets out of hand.
So if you're in a group, how about this? If you're in a group, at what point does the goofiness like deter you? Like, he's being cute and funny with like all the girlfriends. Like, is that also a turn off? You know what I'm saying? Do you want it targeted at you, or do you want him to be able to like, I feel like as a guy, I feel like a girl wants to see you getting along with her friends if they're there. But at the same time, don't confuse her, because if you came up to talk to her, but you're showing attention more to somebody else, then it just looks weird. Or it just doesn't click, right? I don't know.
For me, I think that that's a tough one actually. Hold on, let me think about that.
All right, Karley, what do you think?
I'm all about humor. I think you just have to feel it out. If two people are just like having a lot of witty banter back and forth, keep it going all night long. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was like the main question?
What I'm saying is like if it's a group of girls, a guy comes up to you, wants to talk to you, but he's being kind of like a goofball with all the girls. Is that okay with you, or should he like just target you, or like? Or should there be a balance? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's good. They got to get along with everybody. If they don't, that kind of raises some red flags. But just make sure if you want that girl's attention, you give her the most attention. There's no problem with talking and being humorous with other girls, but make sure she knows that you're interested. Because otherwise, she's gonna think you don't care and you're just one of the other girls.
You're just fishing.
Yeah, you're just fishing. You want to see who's going to catch your line, pretty much. So
if it's the first time too, definitely just focus on her. Don't really focus on the friends, because you'll get more opportunities in the future, I think. But definitely, just focus on her. Make her laugh. Give her all the attention the first time. Don't be too much either, though.
Okay.
Because
what's too much?
Too much is when they cross the line and get annoying. You don't want to be annoying. I don't know how to even explain it exactly. Like, if you stop making her laugh, like, start picking up on that. Like, she's not laughing anymore. So, or she starts rolling her eyes or looking away.
Or checking her phone a lot.
I
think my friend needs me.
Yeah, those are all clear signs that you should probably move forward. We have a lot of friends, and we know a lot of people that don't get the hint. We try to help them sometimes.
Read the room.
Just read the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're talking to a guy, it's going well. Should he ask for your Instagram or your number?
Like or Snapchat?
Or Snapchat. What should he ask for?
TikTok.
Karley, what do you think?
I would say there's no harm in saying D, all the above. Ask for all of it. I think cell phone's most personal. But social media is going to show you the side that they want to show you, but it's not going to help you really get to know them. So I think there's no harm in sharing your social media, but text should be your main form of communication. Like, if you're hitting me up on Snapchat every day, I'm thinking I'm just one of your multiple booty calls in your app. Yeah, I think Snapchat's an app that guys use to hook up mainly.
It's a new Tinder.
Pretty much, yeah. So if you really want to be on a serious note, you should be texting me, calling me, FaceTiming me, hanging out in person. Don't just be stalking me online.
What about you, Stephanie? So if I meet a girl, I usually don't ask for their number because it's kind of old, I feel like. I ask for their Instagram. Maybe I'm immature. Would you rather a guy ask for your number or your Instagram?
I'd rather have a guy ask me for my number because they want to. That shows they want to get to know me. They're already looking at me, right? This is in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer, the number. Like, you know what I look like. You don't need to ask for my Instagram, but I mean, you could add them after.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I feel like some guys go for the social media because it's less like awkward. I think like it's less. I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to ask for a Snapchat or an Instagram. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like some guys do that.
Yeah.
We've definitely heard people like if a guy comes up and asks for Snapchat, not number, he's completely out of the. He's like, I'm done with him. I'm not even interested because he's asked for Snapchat. Exactly. He doesn't take it seriously. So, but at the same time, I feel. I mean, it has to do a lot with the guy who's coming up to you, what kind of confidence, intimidated, not intimidated. So
I know a lot of guys are afraid they're going to get the wrong number. Girls are going to give them a fake number, so they think if I get their Instagram, I'm in there. I can DM them. I'm already in that game.
That's true, but you could get blocked just as easily as soon as you leave the bar.
True, but
or they won't follow you back too. But I agree. Like, I get where you're going with that.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true.
What about flirting when you talk to somebody for the first time? Do you ever flirt with somebody with no intentions of talking to them again? Do you just give them the time of day because you're a nice person, or do you just cut it off right there, Karley?
Well, I had something prepared to say and then I forgot it. Sorry, one more time.
Do you ever talk to somebody with no intentions of talking to them again, or do you flirt with them just to be a nice person?
I say some people get that confused whether like being friendly is flirting. And sometimes I really am just being friendly and people conceive it the wrong way, or complete opposite, I'm trying to flirt with them and they think I'm just being friendly. But I would never intentionally flirt with someone if I didn't plan on like talking to them or see where it could go. It just might not be reciprocated. So.
Yeah, why give them false hope if you're never going to talk to them
Exactly.
again?
I think that shit's just like put that in the past.
I think a lot of girls do that though. They talk to guys just to entertain them and give them false hope, and then they never talk to them.
I think guys do the same thing though. That's a hard pass. I think we could all say like, oh, girls do that, but guys do that shit too. They definitely have girls in their pocket that they just hit up. When can I hang out? Oh, you can't hang out tonight. Let me hit up this other girl, and so on and so forth. But women can do the same exact thing. It's just about who's ready to get serious or not. That's the end of the day.
What about you, Stephanie? Do you ever talk to somebody just to talk to them, or do you have intentions of talking to them again?
Well, I've always thought it was like in a very friendly way. So when I talk to them, I don't notice that I'm being a flirt, I guess. They mistake my niceness for flirtiness a lot. It's so often. A lot. But, yeah, I don't know. For the most part, I try not to. I try to be really straight up with them, but I do it, and at times I do like it for attention. I think most girls like it for attention, but no, I don't know. It's just they mistake it for friendliness.
I think sometimes there's so many different ways. I guess nowadays, well, not nowadays, but just there's so many different ways of flirting that sometimes just being nice comes off as flirting, or being funny comes off as flirting, or sometimes people play hard to get and they consider that flirting. Does that make sense? So it's just like, I don't blame the guy or the girl, but at the same time, it's kind of just like
a shit show.
It's a
game.
Yeah, it's a game.
At the end of the day.
Because
we got to be direct with what we want now.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's you have to be able to pick it up or just be upfront about it and then go from there. I just think the whole aspect of flirting can go in so many ways. It gets weird.
Do you get annoyed if somebody thinks you're being flirty when you're just trying to be nice?
I definitely do. I don't like it because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be their friend. So if they're expecting something more, it sucks because you have to end the friendship, or they're okay with them liking you and then you having to be friends with them. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation. What do you think?
Man, I'm awful at this. I keep forgetting because I'm listening and then
do you ever
I had something to say.
Do you ever get caught as being flirty when you're just trying to be a nice person?
Honestly, yeah. Like the times I'm just trying to be extremely friendly, like not flirty at all, they conceive it as flirting. And then when I'm just trying to be myself, or I am trying to flirt, they don't construe it that way at all. So it's like hit or miss for me. But
okay, so at what point? Not saying that it's your fault that you should change that, but at what point do you have to like almost self-check yourself, whether guy or girl, that like, okay, maybe I'm coming off, maybe I shouldn't be.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I should stop maybe being this way, or just because all these idiots are hitting me up thinking I'm like liking them, but I'm not.
You know, I don't really have a lot of idiots hitting me up, but you know, I don't know. But I don't know. Flirting these days are really hard. I think we just got to be more direct at the end of the day. If you want something, go for it. Otherwise, don't play games. Like I think we're to an age where like playing games is
it's not worth it.
Gotta go. Let's just.
I think our generation is great for the pretense of everything, like whether it's a relationship or a hookup. Like we spend more time in the flirtiness and the hanging out, this and that, and then when it comes to the actual relationship, it's like nothing. You know, it's like it ends really fast, or it's a very shallow style relationship, or just like we put so much more.
You invest a lot.
You invest a lot more in the everything before, and then when it actually comes down to it, you get like people are not interested, or they end up like lying about their intentions, and then they end up screwing one or the other over, you know, and so on and so forth.
Or like if you don't know what you want, like be clear. If you don't know what you want, don't go for it. Like think about it. Don't bring someone else down because you're not sure what you want. Like that shit really pisses me off. How that shit still happens. It's like at what age do you kind of stop that shit? Like you're a grown man, woman. You should know what you want.
Yeah.
Flirt if you want to flirt, and if not,
flirting,
just be friends.
So flirting, like for example, I know girls, guys and girls who. Or men and women, I guess we're at the age where I can say men and women. Right? I feel like a kid, so so that women will flirt just for the fun of it because they're bored. I've seen it. I've seen women friends tweet about it. They're like, "Oh, I'm at the bar. I'm just gonna flirt with this guy because I'm bored, or I want the guys to hit me up and I'll flirt with them, but it'll never go anywhere." And that kind of bothers me because it's just like, whether it's a guy or a girl, it's just like the other guy on the other person on the other line on the other side is being led on by you, and you're just taking them for a spin, and now you're bored and just gonna.
Yeah, you like to flex on people.
I think that happens on both sides, though, women and men.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I still see that shit both. Today. Yeah.
So it's just kind of annoying. It's just like, and then you talk about what's wrong with our generation, and you're like, well, I mean, look at the games we play. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like we're all just so lost in the sauce, and we like don't know what we want, or aren't sure we can get it. I don't know. We're just in a really weird time of dating. Yes, definitely afraid of commitment for sure. I feel like that's a big one.
What about flirting in person versus text? Stephanie, when you flirt with somebody via text message, are you the same person you'd say in person? Because I know for guys, a lot of times we may act differently through text than we are in person.
I know plenty of guys who are smooth operators all over the phone. I mean, they're good. They know what to say, when to say it, and then they see them in person. I'm like, dude, you look like a doofus. You don't even know what you're doing. Person. Yeah, like they have the confidence behind the phone, and then you see them at a bar, and they're just sitting there like twiddling their thumbs, like they don't even know what they're doing. So I'm curious.
I think for me, that's a tough one. I think I'm really dry on text. I don't take text seriously. If I have a few drinks in me, I get pretty, out there talkative. But for the most part, either I think if I don't have drinks in me and I'm in person, I get really nervous. If I am texting, I think I can get a little more confidence, but for the most part, I'm such a dry texter. I get it from my friends. I get it from people I'm talking to all the time. Yeah. So I'm just not a good texter.
But you prefer phone calls? Because nowadays our generation hates phone calls.
I hate phone calls. I get anxiety when someone's calling me. I'm like, I'm not going to answer.
So you're the kind of person that like, like, hey, can I call you? Like, you need the pretext to get a phone call.
Oh, I need a pretext.
There's a bunch of people that know that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's weird because I prefer a phone call. I think it's a lot easier for me. I don't know.
I like phone calls too. I don't like FaceTiming though. I'm not a big FaceTime.
Also like phone calls as well.
Do you like phone calls?
Yeah, I like it better than texting
because
honestly with texting I just feel like things can get misunderstood very easily. Yes. Like maybe I use emojis and they don't. Oh, they didn't
Karley,
say a
you're very
bit.
sarcastic, so I understand how that could happen.
Yes.
You could probably offend a lot of. I mean, just because we know each other for so long.
Yes, very sarcastic. That doesn't read through in text sometimes,
exactly.
you know. So.
Yeah. What about like FaceTiming? Do you prefer FaceTiming, phone calls,
depends.
text?
Like as girls, you know, men don't wear makeup. Girls want to look well done. You know, we don't want to be all natural till a few months in and we're more comfortable. Yeah. So I'm not opposed to it, but you better give me like an hour to 3 heads up beforehand. Or I'm just so comfortable with you. I don't care if I'm in my PJs and glasses. It's like one way or the other. It just depends how I'm feeling.
I think FaceTimes for me have always come like at a later part in whatever relationship like that been. It's FaceTime's just like, it could be awkward. I'm not saying I'm awkward at it, but it's like if you're FaceTiming somebody for the first time, like, what's my background? Like, you know, like, do I show
what angle am I using? Yeah.
Like, is my family next door? Like, what angle am I? Exactly. Like, what angle? Like, oh, shit, my laundry's like, dirty laundry's on the floor. Like, what should I do? You know? I think you think more into it because you're hopping from the fact that you could be texting in underwear and with a bag of chips next to you watching TV and they think you're looking 10, like a 10, but you're not. And then you FaceTime and you're like, holy shit, you know, like I really gotta, like,
hey,
it's happened to me, like, hey, can I FaceTime you? I'm like, okay, give me 5 minutes. I'm like cleaning the room, you know, as fast as I can.
In a corner real
quick. Throwing it under the bed, like, oh shit, you know? So I think it's a little more difficult, but I don't know, once you get comfortable, I mean, I FaceTime exes or friends where I'm just like, I don't care. You know, I'm driving and I'm FaceTiming, which isn't the greatest thing ever, but I've done it.
What about during COVID? Would FaceTime be a little more acceptable for you? Like starting off a relationship?
I think because of the circumstances, yeah. I think it's something that if it's like well planned, like we had this conversation too a couple of shows ago. It was like, do you take responsibility in the fact that what's going on? I live with my family. I have sisters. You know, they maybe live with older people that can get sick. So I think like in the situation, it's like, yeah, I think it's like, hey, you know what? Let's have a date over FaceTime. You know, prepare for it, and the girl can get dolled up or whatnot, and you know, and I think it could lead to something because of the circumstances that we're in, right? But I definitely prefer a face-to-face 100% more over.
I'm not really about like online dating. I'd rather just meet someone naturally. Like maybe that's just me. I'd rather meet someone naturally out, then exchange numbers, then plan a first date, then get to know each other, like things like that. Like I feel like dating culture is just so messed up nowadays. You could like meet someone out, hook up with them the first night, then go on a first date a month later, and then start dating. It's mind blown.
Yeah.
So really? What if you're like texting somebody and you're not into it anymore? What signs would you give them that you don't want to talk to them?
I'm pretty blunt, to be honest. Like I'm brutally honest. It's just like a good and a bad thing. Like I'll probably just straight up tell them like I'm not interested, or I'll start responding slower or not at all. I don't really like to ghost people because I've been there, but if they're not taking the hint, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do it, right?
Yeah, if they're not taking the hint and they're just, hey, I need some space, and they're hitting you up 3 times a week, sending you flowers, let's go to lunch. That's not space, buddy. Okay, you're crowding me. So, yeah.
So let's say it does work out, okay? You want to go on that first date. What's the ideal first date for you, Stephanie, for somebody that you haven't, ever gone out with? You've been texting them for a while. Now you're gonna go out with them. What do you like to do? For a guy, I would like maybe something in a public setting where I could talk. Maybe like, it sounds corny, but the beach, or to go out. Beach? Yeah, just go out somewhere where I can walk around. Just walk around, just talk to somebody. I don't want to be in a place like the pool. Or I mean, I like actually do like the movie, like the movie theater where I can't talk to somebody.
Yeah, you can't talk.
It's really awkward.
I think for me, it would definitely be dinner, because once you get your dinner, you gotta go home. But you can feel it out. No, not like that. But I'm saying I'm not stuck there if it's a bad date. If the conversation flows well, then obviously like you want to stay or whatever. But
it can lead to something.
Yeah,
but you have the option of the exit, I guess. Like,
exactly.
Over,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So I think my ideal date, I get to talk to them. I get to know them. I get to eat. So, and it shows you too the way they act with you on a first date when you're going to dinner.
Yeah.
They pull your chair out, or if they buy you dinner.
You like that, huh? You're very old school, which isn't a bad thing.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Like chivalry is a huge deal, and it's dead now. And I think guys,
it's dead.
It's dead. Like it's so rare.
I just think it's harder to find.
Very hard.
Because I think I see it from personal friends and all that. I think it's like if you show chivalry, it's almost like you're a little bitch. Does that make sense? Like guys feel
that's
that way.
That's how guys feel. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Guys feel. I'm not saying it should be that way. I'm just saying, like, guys don't want to look corny or like cheesy in public because they feel like they get judged. But that's obviously not it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like who cares? Pull the chair out, put the coat on, or open the car door, and so on and so forth. At the same time, I feel like because our generation has gone so used to men not being chivalrous, girls just open the car door by themselves, they get out. So sometimes, even if you're trying to be, you don't get a chance. Does that make sense? Like, no, I mean, I've been on dates where I have every intention of opening the car door, but she like beams it to the car, so she, like beat me to it. Or we get to the table and then she's already sitting down, so it's like, oh well, I can't do much about it. So it's just. I
feel like that's partially about like women want to be independent. We don't want to rely on men for things.
Right.
Like maybe back in the day you expect your man to do that, but nowadays we want equal rights on both sides. So women are probably like, I don't need this man to open my door. I'm open my own.
Right. So I think like you said before, it's just a shit show because you don't know when to be chivalrous. You don't know when to just like. It's just a mess. It's just like I think it's just like not that it's your fault or somebody doesn't want chivalry. It's just.
But here's what I can say is I think that most or all women would still love that. Like, just be like, hey, don't open your door. I'm going to come around there and open it. Like, let them know you're going to do it. Like, don't you dare move.
Don't sit down.
Yeah. Let me grab it. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, you go. Women will love that. Like, you're being direct, but you're being nice about it because you want to do something nice for them.
Yeah, no, I know guys also don't open the door because they don't want to seem like it's an official date. Oh, we're just hanging out. If I open the door now, it's an official date. We jumped up a step. It's just
a mess. We're all in our head on different levels. Like we think, this is how they're gonna see it. Someone else thinks, this is how they're gonna see it. But we're all on different pages here.
So it's funny because whenever we go out to eat, my mom is like real old school, right? So when we order beer and we drink out of glass, she's always told me, even when I couldn't drink, she was like, are you gonna pour your mom the drink? And I'm like, she's like, you're the gentleman, aren't you? So now every time I go out to drink, we go out to drink as a family, we get beers or whatever, a pitcher, whatever it may be. I just do it because my mom was always like, well, that's being a gentleman. But my dad never does it, so she like rolls his eyes. But she's like, I couldn't accomplish it with your dad. I'm gonna accomplish it with you, kind of thing. But
she raised you right.
But it's rare because I went out to eat one time with an ex and with my family, and I poured my mom's beer and I poured her beer, and it was like, she was like, well, that's like never happened. I was like, well, you don't think too much into it. But then I got me thinking into it. I'm like, okay, maybe is that weird? Like, is that wrong? Should I not do that? Because I also at the same time, like you said, not that there's anything wrong with empowerment and women empowerment and all that, but like, I don't want to pour beer for a woman and her get butter. Like, well, I can do it myself. Kind of thing. It's just like,
hopefully it doesn't come to that though. Like, if a woman's pissed about it, like,
that's kind of like, well, then it'd be a red flag for me because it's like, okay, like, I'm not trying to. Make you feel small. It's just I'm just trying to be nice, right?
Beer.
So I guess I don't know, it's a shit show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a double standard. I feel like.
At the end of the day, I think though. Sorry, go for it. I think a lot of girls like that's another toss. It's like obviously I can do it myself. I know you think I could do it myself. Right. I could open the door, but it shows the respect when you're doing it for a girl.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, like how much you like her or the respect that you have for her. It doesn't even have to be about like. It's just, hey, you know what? You're a lady. Like let me do that for you.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I like that.
Like small things matter to women. Like just taking a couple extra seconds to do something nice like that goes a long way. Like you wouldn't think, or like your girl's favorite chips are hot Cheetos. She's had a long day at work. You just surprised her with a bag of hot Cheetos. You made her day. Yeah. Simple things like that. I don't think guys think of that, or maybe they think it's lame, whatever. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you think is right and what you think your lady's gonna like. If you want to impress her, do what you want to do. Don't worry about what you think other people are gonna think.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you expect out of a first date? I know guys talk to each other. Hey, bro, I'm gonna take this girl out. I'm totally gonna hook up with her. Like,
what do I expect on a first date?
I'm asking what you expect from a guy's perspective.
What's your ideal first date? Like from start to finish. Like, what's your expectation of a first date?
Well, to be honest, the past dates that I've been on have been pretty bad. Like I've either paid for half the date or all of the date, or I pick up the date, I drop off the date. Like
Really?
So I haven't really been like wine and dine, like, hey, let me pick you up wearing a nice dress.
69.
Need that.
But you want the guy to pay for it, right? On the first date, the guy should be paying.
Look,
right?
that'd be nice, but I've been so used to paying for half or the full date. At this point, I'd be shocked if the whole date was.
Where are you?
I know. It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I don't think of the man should pay on the date first. It's like either pay half and half. Maybe I pay the first date, you pay the second date. I don't care which order it's in, but most of my dates haven't been like that. But my ideal date would be like, pick me up, you pick the place, we dress up nice. Doesn't have to be a nice place, but look good, feel good, and either split the bill 50-50 or pay for me. I'll take either way.
I feel like I've always, because my parents are from a different, older generation, it's always like, hey, my dad always told me, like, he gives you tips, on your first day, like when I was in high school, like, hey, just here's money, pay for the date. So I've always had that instilled in me, like, pay for the date. But definitely as I get older, not that I'm gonna let her pay for the date, but it goes both ways. So I feel like a gesture from the woman, like, hey, you want to go 50,
definitely.
or let's go get a drink after, I got you on the drink, kind of thing. Like, that gesture shows a lot to me as a man, like, oh, this girl's like actually conscious of the fact that
she's not just trying to get a free meal, free drink,
exactly, kind of thing, you know. So I'm not saying I'm gonna let
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly, but there's nothing wrong with that.
You can gauge what a person.
Because I've definitely been on first dates where the girl, like, the tab comes and she doesn't even
doesn't look at it,
which doesn't bother me because I knew I was gonna take care of it. It's just the
at least
fact
act.
Act, like play.
Even if I'm gonna pay for it, act like
fake
you
it till you make it.
Oh, you got this? Okay.
I was gonna say be genuine about it, but sure.
Like, don't fight over the damn thing, but just be like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, you got. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Don't fight over it.
They're on their phone. They're like, this shit's for you.
Yeah.
You take this.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, you can give it to the gentleman. All right. Well, okay.
I don't think guys should be expected to pay for all dates. So I feel like we're in a new day and age where it should be either 50-50 or you pay one, you pay the other. Like you said, you buy drinks after I pay for dinner, something like that. I think that goes a long way on both sides, and you respect each other more.
Yeah. So you want the guy to pick? You said like the first date.
I would love a guy to pick it out. Like, just have it ready. I'm so indecisive. I don't want to plan shit. Just tell me what kind of clothes to wear, what time, and I'll be.
But are you picky?
I am picky. I'll let him know what I don't like. Just no seafood. No seafood.
And that's the thing. That's.
Other than that, I'm good.
Some guys overthink that because it's like, trust me, I love to eat. I can pick any restaurant in San Diego County that'll be good. But I don't know what you like. You know what I'm saying? So like,
ask so. You know,
have a conversation.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can still surprise me and be like, give me some
ideas.
ideas of what are your fave types of food. You know?
Well, yeah, but some girls are like, no, I don't care. No, I don't care.
That's always a lie. We always care.
I
can
know
go for
it.
anything, and then you go down the list. KFC. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. McDonald's.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Just pick a damn spot. Shit.
What about you, Stephanie? Do you like a guy that tells you where to go, or do you want to have a conversation like, let's go here? Do you want a guy to make the decision, or do you want to have?
Or maybe like some options. What if he gives you like 2 or 3 options? Like steakhouse.
I don't mind
or
that.
like a seafood place, or like, sushi place, or like an Italian place.
Or Arby's.
Great choice of
they have the meat, so.
Yeah. Well, what I usually do, I think I do this. I don't know. I usually give like 3 options, and then I let them decide because it's what I want. Either one. Yeah. That's what I want.
Take a little bit of charge. That's okay.
Yeah, and then they can decide whatever they want. Yeah. But this is the first date. So the first date, I would like them to tell me.
We're going here.
Yeah, we're going
here.
Well,
I feel like a guy should be smart enough to pick somewhere where it's like, okay, they have seafood if she doesn't like this, or they have this if she doesn't like this.
Hopefully they think ahead.
Have all your bases covered.
Yeah, exactly. Like, like a Red Lobster.
I do like their biscuits.
If I don't like it, I definitely will tell them though. I'm like, no, I'm not feeling that. Yeah. So if
you
I
don't
have
show up and have a side salad and a soup and just like
that's good because some girls
I show up ready to eat. Definitely all the time. But
because that's a turn off as is for me.
For sure.
Because it's like, I'm not shy about eating. Okay, I love to eat. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. So if I get like the 14-ounce ribeye steak and this and that, and I'm a dessert guy, so I'm gonna get dessert, and I drink, so I'm gonna get a beer. So it's the first date, why not, right? Or whatever. And if she's over there like, oh, like a ahi seared little salad with like a glass of water, I'm just like, oh.
You feel like a fat ass, yeah.
Nah, I feel uncomfortable.
But what if she's a petite lady? She's just like 5'3" and just can't eat a lot, and she likes an ahi tuna seared salad. Is that okay with you?
Well, here's the thing. Well, it sounds, even though it might sound messed up, it's not like a red flag, but it's like maybe, I like to eat, so I want to have somebody who's like,
someone who enjoys the same
thing
as you.
I'll enjoy the date with her, but it's also like, oh, she's like not really into
eating.
the stuff. Into eating.
Also, that's how all meals will go. You'll be still eating for an hour later, and she'll just have her salad. Is that going to be fun? You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you on that. I agree.
But okay, so there's girls like me sometimes who get really nervous and they can't eat. So it's like, I get really nervous. I'm a nervous like. No, like
you don't have an
nervous.
issue with that.
Maybe you really like someone, and like for me, you know, you get really nervous, and you just want something little because you can't just scarf it down. You know,
opposite. I'm more like, I'm so nervous. I don't think I can talk or not.
So you just eat it instead.
You're a nervous eater. Yeah.
Oh,
be right back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
sense.
Yeah, no, complete opposite.
I see, that's funny. It's okay. It's two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah,
because I've been on both where it's like she's going in. I'm like. Cool. There's like no conversation because she's so fixed on her food. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm the same way. And there's been dates where it's just like, no, like I'm good. Something small. I'm just like, okay. Well then.
I mean, usually no, but I'm just saying I get nervous.
Yeah.
We all do. I'm just a nervous eater. That's the only difference.
So let's say you go out to eat. The whole dinner's over. What do you expect after that? What is the first date like at the very end for you?
Follow up by some drinks, probably. If the night's going well, I want a nightcap somewhere, grab some more drinks, and keep the combo flowing.
Okay, but that's
and then
it.
Maybe make out in the parking lot.
Making out?
I don't know. I could be down.
What about you, Stephanie? You're shaking
no
your
booby
head
touching.
I know, I'm like, hell no.
Maybe. No, just kidding. No booby touch.
No, I say definitely take me home. It's the first date. I don't really know you. Maybe a kiss if it really went well. Just one kiss, one little peck before I'm leaving to my house. Just one. That's it. Okay. But anything more? No, I'm gonna get like.
What about butterfly kisses on the first date?
Oh
my God!
Whoa!
No,
that is next level.
Yeah, that's next level.
That's weird. That is a little weird. I mean, because there's definitely guys who go on first dates thinking they're going.
Oh yeah,
all
to bed. Yeah,
we know guys that are.
Well, there's girls like that too.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. There's girls that are on that same boat, and that's okay. That's you. Mm-hmm. But where it messes up is where he's on this. Like,
different sides.
Yeah, and he's on this side of the spectrum, and you're on this side. Like you're cool with a peck, and he's like, "Well, no, I
want to French it down."
No, more than that, even more than that. You know what I'm saying? And then that turns into like a turnoff. Then it turns into what could have been a really nice date, ended just because you were a dirtbag kind of thing.
Well, doesn't it depend how you meet him too? At the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, a girl that you just do it right away, right after the day, you know, date. Where would you have picked her up? Like, where would you have met her?
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if you met her at American Junkie, you know she's ready to go.
Yeah. She's hot and bothered.
You met her at church, you should probably just drop her off.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. If you met a guy at the bar, the next time you go out was the first time you met him since the bar, would you feel less of an expectation to like make out over somebody you've known for a while? Karley?
So I've already met him at the bar. And I'm meeting him up at the same bar. Like
comparing somebody you barely know to somebody you know very well, do you have more of an expectation to hook up with them after?
If I know them more? Honestly, I think with age, what I've realized is that probably most guys just want to fuck. Yeah. So doesn't really matter if I know them or not. If they think they have a chance to hook up, I feel like they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Or if they think they can make out with you, they're gonna go for it.
Is it uncomfortable? Is it uncomfortable for you?
It's hard because like, what if I wanted to hook up with someone and I'm not sure they're feeling it, but I'm feeling it. Same with the guy, he's feeling it, but what if I'm not feeling it? How do you know? You know, like you want to go for it, but you don't want to get shut down.
What sign do you give the guy if you want to hook up after?
I don't know.
Maybe that.
I feel like you just are direct with it. Like, what are you doing after this? You want to go back to your place? Want to go back to my place? And that kind of is like, it's kind of like the signal to like, we're either gonna make out booby touch or we're gonna fuck. You know, so.
Would you ever go?
Like, what's that?
Would you ever, under any circumstance, go to somebody's house after the first date?
Nope.
Have you ever done that before?
Nope. I don't think I ever will. After the first date, I don't know you.
No, it's not nothing.
What if it's the first date with someone you knew, like you were mutual friends through a mutual friend? Would you then hang out with them after? Like you know them through a person? You have some background info? No? Just no?
Nope, I won't. And I never have. Have you?
Like I said, my dating life's shitty, so no, we never got to. I dropped him back off at fucking Chuck E. Cheese. So that's what happened there.
I have a lot of friends that do it, and they're just they're just looking to have sex at the end of the day, though. So it just depends. For me, I can't do it. So
I think it definitely gives guys the wrong signal, though, too. Like, say you just wanted to hang out with them, extend the night, go back to their place to have a drink. I think 9 times out of 10 they're thinking they're going to have sex that night.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, like, unfortunate, because what if you really just want to have the conversation going for a few hours, keep drinking, and let that be end the night with a kiss? I feel like that's pretty cool, too. But I feel like it just automatically goes into, am I getting laid tonight? On both sides. It could be both sides.
I feel like, okay, well, personally, I guess, and from a lot of the guys I know, well, like all of the normal guys I know.
Normal guys, okay.
Like date, like dinner, maybe drinks after, like if it went well, maybe not even a kiss at the end of the night. But if you ended up really liking the girl, it's like it sounds weird, but it's like it's more of an adventure. Like it's like you just spark something that could lead to something that's like, obviously we all like the honeymoon stage, like the dating and the flirting, and it goes into something where it's like, okay, I didn't get any, but I'm interested, so I'm definitely gonna text her tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the chase.
And I feel like the chase, exactly.
Chase.
That's the
everyone
one.
loves
You're enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know?
And
everyone
then
loves that.
if you go on a date and you run through you go to the dinner, you go to the drink or the bar or whatever after, and you run through the bases within a 5-hour span, you're just kind of like, well, I kind of been there, done that. So it's like, what does that show? It goes both ways too. I'm not trying to see just women. I'm like, what does that show about? Like, well, what do I go from here? Like, I'm already there. Yeah. So does this turn into a relationship, or should this turn into just dinner and hooking up every time I want to hook up? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it depends on what you both want. You know, do you both just want to hook up or not? That's like the hard thing. It's like we got to be more open about what we're literally looking for.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's a hard conversation. Like,
especially
do you just want to hook up? Yeah,
it's
exactly. You know,
situation.
yeah. How do you bring that up the first date? Like, I don't even know if I like it yet, but
yeah.
I mean, if I really like somebody, I don't want them to go to my house. I don't want to go to their house because it shows like I'm not the person I want you.
I think that's a good way to put it.
It comes off as not respectable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess it depends how you look at it. I guess I'm like on a different spectrum. Like, if I'm really vibing with this person and I don't want the night 10 and I want to keep getting to know them, I'm gonna hope that you're respectable and we can like go back to one of our houses and have a conversation. Yeah. Hopefully.
And leave it at that.
Yeah. And like a kiss on the cheek would be nice, you know?
Even like a makeout session.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I don't feel like it has to be like you have to end the night and then wait for the next time. If you're really feeling it, you should be able to have a late night combo with the opposite sex or same
without
sex,
the expectations of ending up in bed.
But that's always expected nowadays. I feel like we're all just like
well, I mean, it's hard when you're like with all these dating sites and stuff like that that are meant for just that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
100%.
Dating is hard nowadays.
All right. Do you have anything else to add on flirting and dating on the
or
first
do you guys
date?
want to ask anything?
Well, there was something I was gonna say earlier. I think you were just talking about how like some women and men just flirt to flirt, and then they have no intentions of doing anything or just hooking up. And like in my personal opinion, I feel like they're missing something in their life. Like they're looking for something extra. Otherwise, they wouldn't be reaching for so much attention from people. And like they're just dealing with some inner issues. Like maybe there's something they just like to flirt, but at the end of the day, I feel like they're missing something inside.
I think all guys and girls like to be flirted with. And have somebody into them. It makes you feel good about yourself.
It's attention.
Yeah.
Everybody likes attention. Yeah. But
from
I think some people
person,
just take it too far.
Where, they really play with
you know, because I've known, it goes both ways, men and women who are flirting with a guy, the guy's sending him gifts, doing this, doing that, because he thinks that it's sprouting to something more, and she's just playing with him. And at the same time, I know guys who and there's women out there who do everything for the guy. They'll bring him food, they'll do this, they'll do that, you know, pick him up when they're drunk, this and that. And they have no intentions of going anywhere with the girl. They're just, in a sense, using her or her using him for that attention. And then they look at a guy that they're interested in, they drop this dude. And then you ask why people get so disgruntled in this, like, dating, like, bubble that we have going on with our generation. It's just weird. It's just
Do you think that's a personal thing? Like, maybe that's been taught to them to just use people because that's how they've been used, and maybe that's where that comes from?
I think it comes a lot with who you're hanging out or what you're, like, using as an example. So I think it's like, are your friends doing the same thing? You know, are you hanging out with other girls or other guys that do that? Or are you like too like hooked on like certain things on social media? Because social media plays, whether we like it or not, plays a huge role in our lives nowadays. So what you see we all know what you see on social media isn't what which actually is in real life. So there's men and women who like are fixated on that. So they try to repeat that out in the real world, and you just come off as either a douchebag or a bitch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, it's a huge shit show nowadays. Like the chivalry, the first dates. There's like there's so many ways you can go wrong, and there's so many ways you can go right. But we're so indecisive, and we just don't know which is which right now. So
100%.
Well,
now I know how to go about a first date. I didn't know what to do before this, but now I do know.
Red Lobster.
You guys good?
I like Red Lobster, so
the biscuits are amazing.
Yeah, they're the best.
I got told. Fun fact: I got told one time. Like I remember, I was dating an ex, and we were already dating. It was like a chill. Like, what do you want to go eat? And we passed by Red Lobster. I was like, oh, I really like Red Lobster. She looked at me like I was the biggest piece of shit for asking for Red Lobster. She's like, you like that place? Like, dude, what?
You're like, so what do you think of Olive Garden and
chowder biscuits?
Steakhouse?
Are you kidding me? Like, and I was like, yeah, this is over. I did a U-turn.
Get out right here. Get out right here.
Come on, Uber. We're out.
Stuff. All right, I think we're done with this podcast. I appreciate
it. I was ready to keep going.
We'll do another one after this.
Yeah, you'll be invited back.
Yeah,
you'll be invited.
You guys will be coming back. Stephanie and Karley, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thanks again for having us.
Of course. I love you guys.
Love you too.